All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that's hiding in plain sight. It's the invisible structure that organizes pretty much every digital experience you have, from your favorite app to the most massive websites. And it's called information architecture. You know that feeling, right? You're clicking around, you're totally confused, and you just can't find the one thing you're looking for. It's so frustrating, and it's almost always a sign of a much deeper problem. And that's where information architecture, or IA for short, comes into play. It's the deliberate, thoughtful solution to all that digital chaos. And it's not about how pretty a site looks, it's all about how it works, how it's structured so that everything just makes sense to you. Honestly, the best way to get it is to think of a blueprint for a house. I mean, before you can build the walls or pick out the paint color, you need a rock-solid plan for where all the rooms, doors, and hallways are going to go. IA is that exact same kind of plan, but for information. So what is this blueprint actually doing? Well, at its core, it's all about transformation. Let's just walk through this. Over on the left, you see data, which looks like a bunch of scattered random docs. That's your raw content. Then information architecture steps in to create structure. That's the information box in the middle. It uses models to sort and group all that data, creating connections and turning a total mess into something we can understand. But the final step? Knowledge. That's where it gets really useful. Now, the system has a solid structure, so it can take in new data and intelligently ask, okay, where does this new piece fit? That's the real power of IA. Now, to build a strong blueprint, you've got to follow some basic rules. So let's look at the 4 core principles that guide any good information architecture. Think of these as the 4 pillars. Clarity just means everything is organized in a way that makes sense. Consistency means once you learn how one part of a site works, you can apply that knowledge everywhere else. Usability makes it feel intuitive, and accessibility, well, that just makes sure everyone can use it. They sound simple, but when they're done right, they are incredibly powerful. So, how do information architects actually do all this organizing? Well, they use a special set of tools called organizing schemes. Now, these are the tools in the architect's toolbox. I know they might sound a bit complex, but they basically range from something as simple as a controlled vocabulary, which is just an approved list of terms, all the way up to a really complex ontology, which defines the deep relationships between concepts. Let's see how they all fit together. And this diagram here lays it out beautifully. See, on the far left, controlled vocabulary is just simple categorization, like having a fixed list of product categories on a shopping website. But as you move to the right towards ontology, the relationships between things get way richer. An ontology doesn't just say a laptop belongs in electronics. It can define that a laptop is a kind of computer, that it has a part called a screen, and that it is used for work. It's that depth that lets us build truly smart systems. And this is where it gets really, really exciting, because the more sophisticated your organizing scheme is, the smarter your system can become. It's the journey from a simple search box to something that has real knowledge. Just look at this progression. Down at the bottom, simple structures give us basic search. But as we move up that curve, the relationships get richer. A taxonomy adds parent-child links, kind of like a folder system. A thesaurus adds related to links, so it knows car is related to automobile. By the time you get all the way up to an ontology with its super defined relationships, the system isn't just matching keywords anymore. It's actually understanding concepts. And that's what allows it to answer complex questions. This chart shows that same journey, but it adds a really crucial idea, semantics, which is just a fancy word for meaning. On the left, with weak meaning, a system can do basic recovery. It can find a document if you type the exact word. But as we move to the right, the system's understanding of meaning gets stronger. It starts to get the context behind the words. And that is what enables things like advanced questioning, answering, and smart behaviors, because the system isn't just matching text, it's reasoning about the information itself. So the biggest takeaway is this: that smart search feature you love, those uncanny product recommendations, that chatbot that actually understands what you're asking, all of it is built on a foundation of solid information architecture. Better organization literally unlocks smarter digital systems. So let's wrap this all up. Why does any of this technical stuff actually matter to you in your daily life? It all comes back to this one simple, powerful idea. A blueprint for a house isn't really for the architects. It's for the people who are going to live in it. In the exact same way, good IA is designed for the user, to help them move through a digital world without getting lost. When IA is done well, you don't even notice it. Things just work.
The information you need is right where you expect it to be. That's the magic of a great blueprint. It creates a space that feels effortless. It saves you time, it cuts down on frustration, and it makes technology work for you, not against you.
So the next time you open your favorite app or you're on a website that just feels right, that's intuitive, just take a second. Try to look past the colors and the fonts. Can you see the structure underneath it all? Can you see the blueprint?